Hello, hello. I have no idea what to say when the sun is shining. But anyway, how is everyone doing? I just left you people. And in case anyone's wondering, no, I have not been asleep at all. So, what we are going to do today, and also in case you're confused, yes, I do have two lives set up. This one and then another one at 8 o'clock. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I am trying to do different things. Like I never wanted to focus on the Nesto content. I really didn't. I started out doing different things, and then when I started going live, I really didn't know what to do, so I just got in that Nesto thing, but that's not what I want my whole entire channel to be about. Um, you know, so what I have been doing is I do the body cams, of course, and some other really fun, cool things that we do in members. So, and I want to do something else new here in addition to body cam because there are a lot of things that go on that I'm not able to get to. I put it aside, but I can never get to it because I'm always doing Nesto stuff. So I just decided to come up with different ways to incorporate something different. And one thing that I've noticed is, especially like with doing the body cam, my subscribership has gone up. Now, I don't get a whole lot of views, on the well, actually, no, I don't do too bad for it to be something that I'm doing based on the ratio of subscribers I have. But I just want to do like something, other things different. So we are going to get into something different today, and I'm going to tell you about it as soon as I speak. Good morning, good morning, good morning. First on the moonwalk is Sunflower Babe TT. Then we have Beauty is Her Name, Butterfly 23, Cross Country Cruise Her, Leela, Not Layla, Tex Toy, B. Williams, Shirley's Divorce Finally, Casino Lady, Miss Veronica, TDC, Tex Toy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And those of you who are in the clouds, in the bushes, listening to me on your morning commute. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you all for being here. So, what we are going to do is we are going to get into some news stories. Some of them's true crime, and some of them's just something else. But anyway, we're going to get into those. Text Toy said, "Yes, I understand. Nesta will eventually go to prison, right?" Right. And I don't want it to be like, oh my gosh. And with Sean Hoover going to court trying to get, just his final plea pushed back. I mean, I know this content is gonna last, but who wants to do that every time they sit in front of their computer? And I would think that, sometimes it's a little bit more refreshing to hear something different. So good morning, Kimmy Who. So what let me share my screen. We're going to get into a couple of news stories, and I'm going to do these. And then when I am done, I will be doing another live at 8 o'clock where some more, this Tasha K thing, we can just do this Tasha K thing and Sonya for like the next 3-4 weeks. And if Shay drops something else, oh my goodness. But anyway, I want to get in the first thing I want to get into, and actually, which reminded me to get into this, is because someone mentioned it in the chat last night. Those of you are aware of the mother, I think from Pontiac, Michigan, who was accused of abandoning her children. Well, her bond was initially $250 million. Yes, she had a murder bond. So it has been reduced to 50,000. So let's get in. Let me see. I hope this is the right one. I should have looked.
In regard
Um, yes, this is the right one. Okay, so we are going to get into this story right here, right quick. Okay.
there is much interest in the outcome of this case and in the bond. I'm going to reduce the bond to a 50,000 cash bond at this point.
A judge dramatically reduced the bond for a Pontiac mother accused of abandoning her 3 children
And why?
for several years inside an unsanitary home. That story tops our newscast today. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren.
Good morning, Tracy and Cotton Candy Curls. First of all, let me just say before we continue, shout out to this news reporter, Lauren Winfrey. She is giving us some true professional sister girl. So shout out to her.
Winfrey. 34-year-old Kelly Bryant was arraigned last month on 3 counts of first-degree child abuse. Originally, the judge set her bond at $250 million, but today it was reduced to $50,000 with several conditions. CBS News Detroit's Elaine Rojas Castillo joins us from Pontiac with more on the conditions the judge set and when Bryant is due back in court.
After a $250 million bond is set a few weeks ago, the Pontiac woman accused of abandoning her 3 children has her bond lowered to $50,000.
Now, I also want to know, is one of the conditions going to be stay in a shitty house with a shitty toilet that doesn't flush and trash all over the place? I so want that for her. Good morning, just peeking. Shirley's divorce finally said this chick looks like she's missing some screws, and just how could she do this to those kids? Well, we'll wait a minute. We'll get to it.
The purpose of the bond is certainly not to punish, even though this is an extremely high impact case. There is much interest in the outcome of this case and in the bond.
In her second court appearance, Kelly Bryant spoke few words, with the 34-year-old being shown virtually from Oakland County Jail. Charged with 3 counts of first-degree child abuse, prosecutors say Bryant's disregard for her children's safety and health for years make her a flight risk in need of a high bond.
We believe that she does pose a risk.
You know what? There's not too much that grosses me out. I'm down for whatever, but
danger to the community, specifically the victims who are members of the community, who she egregiously and intentionally neglected for years.
Bryant's attorney shared letters of support written on her behalf, but underlined the seriousness of the bond request.
It's a very difficult situation. So when I say community support, I understand that, that shouldn't mean that, we should be worried about the children, because everybody has made the children a priority.
Along with the reduced cash only.
What the hell? Yes, everyone has made the children a priority, because for what was it, 5 years? I don't even remember. Doesn't matter. But for however many years it was, the children were neglected. Nobody was paying attention. Not her family, which I don't understand that. So nobody was paying these children attention. So I could care less. Casino lady said the way she treated those kids she should not get a bond reduction. No, she doesn't. I agree. Let her rot.
Bond. Bryant was given other conditions, including no contact with her children or anyone under the age of 18, and no contact with those caring for her children. She also cannot return to the address of the alleged incident and must use a home confinement electronic monitoring device. A mental health evaluation.
Wow, this is interesting. It's almost like she has Nesto conditions. Good morning, Pen Pal 50.
Was also ordered, with prosecutors asking for evidence in regards to concerns about her mental state during her time in custody.
She has a history of deceiving those who were attempting to support her for years. And it is.
I don't care anything about a mental health evaluation. Now, one would think, oh, she's got to be mentally ill. After all, she left those children on their own like this, dropping them off food, once a day, once a week, whatever it was. No. Because if you're going to give a mental health evaluation and present that, I want to know, okay, when she on the 15 minutes that she was dropping stuff off to the kids for the last few years, what was she doing when she wasn't doing that for those 15 minutes? What did the rest of the 24 hours in her day consist of? I want to know that. So while you are giving me a mental health evaluation on this chick, I want to know what she was doing. Was she working? Was she laying up with some man? For all we know, she could have other babies. We don't know. We don't know what she's been doing. So I would like to, has her family seen her? I want to know what she's been doing.
It's difficult for me to imagine that all of her beliefs about her alleged support systems have completely changed within 2 weeks of her being in custody.
Bryant's next court date is set for April 15th, and if convicted, she faces up to life in prison. In Pontiac, Elaine Rojas Castillo, CBS News Detroit.
Low.
Ooh,
No, this.
no, not these guys. No, no, no. We don't want them. Okay. So that was, her bond hearing. Now let's let's look at something else. Let's see how she's doing, because we do know how she has been doing since she's been out on bond. Now, some of you may have heard, and some of you may have not heard, but I'm going to tell you in case you don't know. Let me share my screen. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. I was about to say, what you doing? Okay. Let me share my screen now. It was some funny stuff. I was doing some funny stuff here, y'all. Okay. So let's get into what she's been doing since she had this last bond hearing.
The mom accused of abandoning her 3 children for years inside a Pontiac home has her phone access revoked. Now that comes after prosecutors say Kelly Bryant called the caregiver of her children some 20 times.
Say what? Now all of a sudden you're concerning yourself about the children.
Thanks everyone for joining us. I'm Karen Drew, in for Kimberly Gill tonight.
And I'm Ty Steele. The judge's decision late this afternoon comes as Bryant sits in that Oakland County jail. So far, she's been unable to post that $50,000 cash bond. Let's go live now to Shantae Passmore.
Boo-hoo.
More in Pontiac with the very latest. Good evening, Shantae.
Yeah, good evening, Ty and Karen. The court hearing, very brief. The judge said she found it baffling that Kelly Bryant reportedly enlisted the help of other inmates to call the children's caregiver on her behalf. Now, tonight, she's setting the record straight on what she expects moving forward.
So not only is she harassing the family, she got other inmates, calling for using their PIN number, very much so like Nesto. Okay.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
Kelly Marie Bryant.
Should Kelly Bryant be allowed to communicate with the outside world?
Nope.
Oakland County prosecutors say not after she reportedly violated her bond. The court told the Pontiac mom to not contact her children and their caregiver. The 34-year-old, accused of abandoning her 3 kids, allegedly called her caregiver multiple times from jail. Bryant also reportedly enlisted some help.
Your Honor, my concern is twofold. First, that Ms. Bryant defied the court's order on 3/7/2025 with the no contact.
And to me, she is sitting up there looking just as smug as she pleases.
Also is now circumventing Oakland County Jail's rules and having other inmates contact on her behalf.
However, Bryant's lawyer claims the mother remained unaware of not being able to call the caregiver. Her team.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What did she do? Zone out when the judge was reading her conditions? Really? And you mean to tell me her attorney didn't go over the conditions? Really?
Claims neither they nor Bryant received a written copy of the court's bond order. The defense making it clear the mom did not inquire about the kids and asked for the judge to deny the motion.
I am telling the court that there's not going to be any other issues. There will not be any other issues. They can monitor her from now until eternity, and she will not violate the court's orders.
During the brief hearing, the judge said orders aren't suggestions. They need to be followed. If there is another violation,
The court will schedule an emergency hearing within 24 hours of receiving notice of a violation.
Okay. So she tried it. Oh, I wasn't aware. What the attorney, the best you can do is say, well, we didn't get a printout. Regardless of whether or not you guys actually received documents on the conditions, you were there. The attorney was there. She was there, present on Zoom. So they heard what the conditions were. You don't get to cop out and say, oh, we didn't get him in writing, so she didn't know. She was confused. She misunderstood. No, not buying it. I understood. Shirley's divorce finally says, see, she's on that bullshit. They told you not to contact them. See, she don't follow instructions, baby. If they don't put this bitch in the padded room. Look, yes, playing dumb. Now we're going to be mentally capacitated and unable to follow and apparently hear instructions.
The judge says now she believes both Bryant and her defense team understand the terms of the bond. Still, she feels the violation was very flagrant, and that is why she temporarily suspended the mother's communication privileges for 1 week. We're reporting live in Pontiac tonight. Shante Passmore, Local 4.
Yeah, all these circumstances, very shocking.
1 week? Are you playing with me? 1 week? Okay. All right. That was that. So I wanted to bring that up, number one, because it happened, and number two, because, it came up in the chat last night. Now, this is something that I'm getting ready to report on that I didn't know anything about until I got off live last night, and I was, looking at some news and things, and I found out that there was some issues with a man in West Alabama who was mistakenly arrested. Of course, he's Black, and of course, that happens to us all the time. So this is very interesting. And I did not watch all of this. I only watched, it's only 4 minutes, but I had stopped watching it because it was in my imagination, I wanted to go to sleep, but that never happened. Pen Pal 50 said, oh, I thought they took them all together. Who, the children are you talking about? Shirley's divorce finally says, no, it's construction, like Nesto said. Construction. The children, Pen Pal 50, if you're talking about, oh, you're probably talking about the conditions. Just for a week. The phone, yeah, just for a week. So I don't know. I'll have to search. I didn't see anything that gave an update, but I could probably get into whatever the system is there, or look on Google and see, what has happened since then. Good morning, Virtuous Center. Good morning, Mimi. So let's get into this man who was wrongfully arrested in West Alabama. Let me, okay, here we go.
A West Alabama man shares a frightening story of how he was mistaken for a murder suspect. He tells the I-Team the false arrest has not only rattled him, but also his young son. So how could this happen? Here's our Cynthia Gould.
It was a knock at the door Ty Bright will never forget. February 15th, just before 9 a.m.
U.S. Marshals with a warrant, come to the door.
Oh,
panicked.
You know what? I assumed, I guess when I was listening to this, I didn't pay attention. I thought it was the police, U.S. Marshals. Oh my gosh. Good morning, Lisa Lulu.
My hands were up, and as soon as I came out, somebody grabbed me by the arm and kind of put me in the yard a little bit.
Terrified, his 3-year-old son was still inside, ordered to get a family member to pick him up, or police would call DHR.
Oh, wow.
Eventually put the guns down and get them out and grab them, and they bring them to me. And he wasn't crying, so I kind of wiped my tears and was like, well, let's just see what's going on.
The incident captured on a nearby business camera. Bright recounts after 15 minutes or so, he was handcuffed and put in the back of a patrol car. All this time, were you like saying, what's going on here? What am I charged with?
Yeah, I was getting no answers. I was wondering what was going on. All they could tell me is that they would tell me down at VCUs.
Next, he was questioned by investigators.
And they got me in the room. I kind of just sat down and just prayed, and because I didn't do anything. I know I didn't do anything. He asked me what my name was and then just stepped back out real quick. And then he came back in and sat down and asked where I was the night before, and I told him that I was at home with my son all night.
Then 15 to 20 minutes later, Bright was free to go.
Did you get an apology? We're sorry.
They haven't reached out to me at all. I'm still looking to try to get some legal action.
Is this a lawsuit? Now, this should be a lawsuit because I don't know how the son was, but guess what? I'm traumatized. My son's traumatized. We all traumatized. So they stepped up. I want to know, okay, what the address, I know we're not going to know this, but I want to know the address of the actual person they were looking for. I want to know the name of the actual person, because I think it's funny that they came in there, they what's your name, and they step out and they come back in, where were you on such and such, and then 15, he's free to go. No. Good morning, Petty Patty. Good morning, London, pretty New York City girl. Mimi, did I say good morning? And Casino Lady. Good morning, everyone. Mimi said trauma doesn't just disappear. Lawsuit. Okay, this is what you call a lawsuit.
Action done. That's just where I'm at now. Just recently put a post on Facebook just so people can know what happened. And
Brett explains he's lived in the Tuscaloosa area all his life, has a degree in social work from UA, and now works for the court magistrate's office in Northport.
I kind of
Ooh, somebody messed up. He works for the court magistrate's office. Okay, all right.
feel like they were just eager to get an arrest and just, I don't know, maybe I guess went on something they heard and just ran with it.
So how did this court employee end up a suspect? Tuscaloosa's violent crime unit declined to comment. We
Of
did
course they
find a
did.
press release same day. This man arrested for murder, not a similar name or appearance.
You can't make it up. You cannot. You cannot make this up. Casino. Hey, Kimmy Who said they gonna baptize someone's ass. Somebody's ass needs to be baptized. Hey, Mrs. CLC, good morning. So I can't read this because it is cut off, but let me see. Okay, so on the 15th at 1:30 a.m. in the Tuscaloosa. I'm sorry, y'all. So the police. What? This is what I want to know. How and why was the marshals involved so soon? You mean to tell me someone was unalive and by like that afternoon or later that morning, they was knocking on the marshals? But anyway, police responded to 2 people who were found pow-powed. And let me see, there was a 28-year-old victim. The violent crimes unit took over the investigation. They did some evidence taking, some interviewing. This guy's name on the screen, his name is Wesley, spelled Weslie, Darnell Tinker, 28 years old. Okay. I just wanted to let that sit for a minute because this is who the suspect actually is. And if you compare it to who they actually arrested, it don't match. It don't match. Good morning, Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame. Good morning, Miss HLS.
Name or appearance.
Clearly, there was a false arrest, possibly abusive process, all kind of wrongful incarceration.
Defense attorney Leroy Maxwell, who's not connected to the case, says it could happen to anyone. His office hears it more often than you would think. A law enforcement mistake, a witness who is not credible.
When accidents like this happen, whether it was intentional, whether it was accidental, at the end of the day, you're looking at down the barrel of an assault rifle, and anything could happen.
His advice, stay calm.
Comply, get your lawyer involved, because the old saying, you'd rather be judged by 12 than buried by 6.
To obtain an arrest warrant, police must present a judge or magistrate with a sworn affidavit. This document outlines facts establishing probable cause that a crime was committed and that the named person did it. A warrantless arrest involves a situation where there's imminent danger.
They don't have time to speak with the magistrate.
A mass shooter.
Mass shooting, active shooting, something along those lines.
Maxwell believes from looking at the video, they had a warrant.
When you have the federal marshals involved, that's a telltale sign to me that this was coordinated.
it was coordinated, and someone went into that courtroom and lied to get a warrant, or didn't have their facts together, as Nesto would say. Good morning, Cross Country Cruiser. Good morning, B. Williams. This is very scary.
That there was permission to knock on this door from a judge or a magistrate. And if it ends up being the wrong person, that means it was completely based off of false or inaccurate information.
Bright tells us he and his young child still feeling the after effects.
I still get triggered by stuff, and my son too.
Was this something you're never going to forget?
I won't forget it. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Again, Tuscaloosa's VCU not answering our questions. We're told for Bright to find out what led investigators to him and his house, he would have to hire his own attorney to file paperwork to unseal that warrant.
Get the hell out of here. Wait a minute. Why he got hire a lawyer to unseal it? Why is it sealed? Why? I want to know why that warrant is sealed. That should be a freebie because they made a mistake. That should be a freebie. Should nobody be paying for nothing? Boy, I tell you, I would have me the best attorney my money could buy, or the best attorney that somebody's money could buy. That's for sure. Well, all this trauma and drama has just is too much. So we're gonna take a little bit of a break in between, and talk about this. So apparently, if y'all live in Memphis, the FreakNik has been pay me no mind.
Make Memphis fun again. That's the slogan used to promote a permitless party coming to the Bluff City called the Memphis FreakNik. The party inspired by a once popular and controversial street party in Atlanta. Hello, I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hurst. It's like taking spring break from the beach to the streets. And now both the city of Memphis and its police department are trying to figure out how to respond. Let's get out to WRG's Brian Didlake, who has more. Brian?
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Did I speak to Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame? I can't remember. Good morning.
Well, Greg, Stephanie, the organizer of this FreakNik event says although the city has already refunded the permit money,
he said FreakNik.
The party is still on, but now on private property.
I was surprised. I thought FreakNik was over and dead, so I was surprised they're reviving it.
What the hell?
And already stirring the pot as
What's Becky doing? What? Out of all the people in Memphis, I know some folks that live in Memphis. You mean to tell me all I could find was Becky? Text Toy said he lost his black car. Then they got Becky without the blonde hair to talk about FreakNik.
As Memphis residents discuss this flyer promoting a Memphis FreakNik set Easter weekend. The organizer going by Foolish were promising food trucks, live music, water slides, and more.
We'll see how it goes without the violence. I hope there don't be no violence or anything going on. Everybody just have a great time.
While Memphians we spoke with have mixed reactions.
FreakNik was the greatest black gathering in America.
The controversy of the party came from its inspiration. Atlanta's FreakNik started in the early 1980s, lasting all the way until 1999. The party, hosted by Spelman and Morehouse College students, started off as a picnic, but got out of hand after hundreds of thousands swarmed the city, causing safety and traffic concerns.
It was something to do that was fun. It was something to do for people who wanted a change.
Well-known radio DJ Stan Bell says he has high hopes for this event. The organizer sending out this update today. It says in part, we have hired several private armed security teams and law enforcement to work with us on this event. We have notified the Memphis Police Department and the Sheriff Office of our new location already.
Do you think Memphis is prepared to see a similar version of what we saw in Atlanta?
I don't believe that we will, quote, overdo it in terms of that. And my hope and my wish is if it does happen, if it does come to fruition, Memphis FreakNik, that everybody would be in proper decorum, enjoy themselves, be responsible, no matter what your age is.
Bell sharing words of wisdom to organizers.
Make it a wholesome event. Have fun.
I'm so sorry. This is just too much. B. Williams said, let them have their nasty barbecue. Oh, good grief. Did I say good morning, Petty Petty? Oh, man.
Turn up, but yes, know when to turn it down. So they remind them, hey, look, Memphis is all about coming together.
Now, the change of venue has not been announced as of yet, but Memphis police confirmed they are aware of this event and will be monitoring all city parks during that weekend. For now, we are live in downtown Memphis. Brian Ditlake for your news leader, WREG, Channel 3.
All right, a lot of people.
B. Williams, see, what is the quorum at a FreakNik? Oh, I had to, we had to break up the monotony, of what we just had seen and heard, from the young man being traumatized. So now I'm going to re-traumatize you. We are going to be going over to Ohio, where there are some issues with let me stop sharing my screen for a minute. There are some issues in the Black community. They don't feel safe because apparently there were some neo-Nazis running around there running amok. So let me share my, oh, no, not yet. Let me share my screen so we can get into this one. See, I like to keep it even. I like to, get emotional. I like to bring it back around. So let me share the screen and let's look at this. As sad as it is.
Turn now to one community in Ohio, which is now the center of a growing national debate about civil rights, hate speech, and the Second Amendment. NBC News correspondent and NBC News Now daily anchor Morgan Radford visited the town of Lincoln Heights, where residents have formed an armed community defense group in the wake of a neo-Nazi rally. Morgan joins us now. You were there just on Tuesday. What did the residents tell you about what's going on?
Yeah, I was there just this week. John, it was fascinating because what's interesting is that this town was founded during the Great Migration back in the 20s as a
I'm sorry, before we get started, like ever since all I can hear is it a crime? I know you don't like that, Miss HLS. I know you don't like my singing, but that's okay. Good morning, Juju D. That's all I see right now is there must have been an angel by my side, something like that.
Refuge for Black citizens, which is why it was especially painful when neo-Nazis suddenly appeared in this 3,000-person majority Black town. But they decided to fight back, taking up arms and patrolling their own streets. Now they're at the center of a much larger debate about protection and free speech and who gets it.
These aren't police officers or soldiers.
They're business owners, their fathers, their sons, daughters.
These are civilians, members of the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch Program.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, they didn't come to play. They did not come to play. Duty.
Okay, let's go. The duty, protecting their neighborhood, the majority Black village of Lincoln Heights, Ohio. After neo-Nazis held a rally here last month, carrying rifles, waving swastikas, and hurling racial slurs, just moments before children were let out of school. At the time, law enforcement officials said the neo-Nazis did not break any laws, but an investigation by county prosecutors is ongoing.
Did they have a permit? Don't you need a permit to do this? What do you mean they didn't break any laws? If they didn't have a permit, they had to. Let us Black folks get together and decide we want to do a march. We would need we can't go stand over that bridge waving our red, red, green, and yellow flags. We can't do that. So why are they able to do it? Mimi says, no, they not messing with Lincoln Heights. Yes, they are. B. Williams says, I'm glad those men are there. Not only that, but here's something else that I don't understand. If you are firm in your belief, like these neo-Nazis are, why they got their faces all covered up? Why are they covered up like that? They done went out and printed themselves some skulls with red, with red. Why are they covering up their faces? If you loud and proud, be loud and proud, so I can identify you later. That's all I'm saying. Petty said, what kind of mess is this? I don't know. Pen Pal 50 said, we sure can. Nope, we sure can not. Good morning, Nikki. How are you?
Weeks later, the KKK came with these flyers.
What?
First
Weeks later?
African-American community above the Mason-Dixon line of staff.
Safety and Watch Group spokesperson Durrance Daniels says the police did not do enough, which was more chilling because the town was founded in the 1920s as a safe haven for Black residents.
Lincoln Heights is our home. If somebody broke into your home, you call the police, and the police says, if they do it again, we haven't broken any laws, so we're just going to allow them to break into your home again. What would you do?
Are you worried at all that having a potentially armed response could just create more friction, create more danger?
I'll answer that by saying I've never felt safer as a Black man in my community than I have right now.
The mayor of Evendale, which oversees the police force that responded that day, said in a statement to NBC News, our emphasis on de-escalation and public safety resulted in the incident's resolution without injuries to any of the persons involved.
Do you think I'm trusting what this old fart says? I don't think so. Really? Him? He looked like he was there when the town was started.
But residents here say they can't afford to wait. Every day, the Safety and Watch Group escorts children to school and patrols the streets.
Why do you all wear masks?
Those Nazis, we have reports of them finding our backgrounds. So we're not hiding ourselves from the residents, but we're protecting our family for what we're doing out here.
While many locals do support the security group, some, like business owner Eric Ruffin, say they wish the group wasn't needed.
We don't want to become what we hate. We don't want to become a group of people that walk around feeling like we have a reason in America to have to protect ourselves.
And this community,
stand up,
is not backing down.
We contacted the mayor of Evendale's office, and they say that prosecutors are looking at body camera footage of the neo-Nazi rally to see if any criminal charges could be filed. But meantime, the Hamilton County Sheriff is also calling on state lawmakers to pass legislation making it a crime to wear a mask with the purpose of intimidation while open carrying, guys.
So, Morgan, let me ask you, one of the people you interviewed there, a young man, said he's never felt safer in his community than he does now. So this could have an impact nationwide, things like this. I mean, there is a contagion factor in safety. People always seek it.
I agree.
What did the mayor or anybody that you spoke to think about the contagion factor?
Durrance, I don't want to speak for him, but after my conversation with him, I feel like I could confidently say he would say the contagion factor has already happened. Because when I asked, is this a reaction to a local moment or a national movement? And he said, look at January 6th. He said, you already have people felt emboldened to come here locally because of what they saw nationally. If you can hang from the building of the hallowed halls of the Capitol and then be pardoned, not be prosecuted, why don't you think you can come to a small village of African Americans, only 3,000 people?
Morgan, does the group have any real authority? But as long as they stay within the confines of the law, they should be okay.
It's a great question. I asked that basically, are you stopping cars when they come in because you think someone looks suspicious?
Why not? People have been stopping us for years because they think we look suspicious. Petty said, lady, please. B. Williams says, why they can't wear masks? Right. Nobody's asking the neo-Nazis why they're wearing them except for me. Kimmy Who said, whatever. In other words, they are doing nothing. Mimi says, when the local government doesn't do anything, they want the land. Yes. And this is not going to be another, oh gosh, what is that? Was it Lake Lanier in Georgia? This is not going to be one of those things where these white folks are able to take over a town and kick us out, steal our land or whatever. I think that a lot of these people have become comfortable because, the head Klan leader, as far as I'm concerned, is in the White House. So a lot of people have become comfortable, but it's time for them to get uncomfortable, as you can see in this community in Ohio. Good morning, Val baby.
Is that, profiling in its own sort of way? And they said, no. We are patently aware of what our rights are and what our limitations are. They said, we're not officers. What we do is we are trying to cooperate with the police department. So if we see suspicious activity, because remember the KKK came back with flyers just after this rally. So they're saying this is more.
Which leads more to me saying the local government don't give a shit. Because please tell me how they done took over the town, waving flags all over bridges and stuff, and then the next day the Klan is handing out flyers, doing a recruiting mission
of a defensive posture to deter people from entering our community and showing them, by virtue of our masks, by virtue of our guns, that you can't come here and we're not going to take this punch line down.
All right. Important story. Fascinating. NBC News correspondent and NBC News Now daily anchor, Morgan Radford. Morgan, thank you. Good to see you.
Now, my only problem, I should say, okay, Smokey, this is enough. You got to go. You're too heavy. My only concern with all of this is nothing will be done until someone is unalived. And that will be either side. It would be either one of us getting one of them or one of them getting one of us. Then that's when everybody will want to do something. And I think that's a darn shame. So let me make some people in Georgia aware of something, because I want to change the mood. So let me make y'all aware of something. There is some EBT fraud going on there in Georgia. So tell a friend, tell a foe, watch out for your EBT cards.
Tonight, a Metro Atlanta mom says fraudsters stole all of her food stamps for the month. Now, police in Chamblee are investigating reports of EBT fraud at 2 businesses in the area. Fox 5's Joy Dukes has the story.
Yeah, that woman says she got her EBT card on the 13th and used the card once at a convenience store near her home on Cleveland Avenue. Just a day later, she says she was notified that someone spent the remaining balance on the card at 2 convenience stores in Chamblee she's never been to.
They leave us with nothing. We don't have anything.
Erica Willis says just a week and a half after getting her EBT card filled for the month, she has no money to feed her kids.
I have an 11-year-old, I have a 15-year-old son, and I have a 16-year-old daughter.
Now, by all means, I'm not trying to be negative, but that corner store, that market that they just showed, it looks like there's like fraud could happen at any moment. I don't care whether it's your EBT, your ATM, or your credit card. I'm sorry if you live in Atlanta. I'm sorry. It just looks like a place where fraudulent things happen. So I don't think that, I'm just saying. Good morning, Chanel. Heslop, yes, we are here. And I did not get any sleep. And guess what? After this live, I'm going to be back again with another one. So this is Legacy Moon all morning long. B. Williams said, I am so sorry, but I think taking from someone that needs welfare is incomprehensible. It is very incomprehensible.
But me and my kids don't have anything in our house to eat.
She tells Fox 5 after her daughter used her EBT card to get snacks at this corner store on Cleveland Avenue, someone managed to access her account and cleared out her stamps before she could even get groceries.
We get up the next morning to go to the grocery store, Kroger's. When we get up there, we try to swipe the card. There's no more stamps on there.
From there, Willis says she called the Food Stamp Benefits Office, and their records showed 4 transactions made at 2 stores she'd never been to in Chamblee: Atlanta Supermarket and Cafe on Shallowford Road, and Latin Supermercado on Buford Highway. A police report states the total amount spent at those stores was more than $1,100.
They got an answer today.
Chamblee police say it's the second report of EBT fraud they've been called to investigate at the Atlanta supermarket and cafe. The other victim, who lives in Colorado, reported $900 in food stamps stolen last month.
I don't think I just asked for my money back.
Previously, a federal
900.
program offered reimbursement of stolen SNAP benefits to Georgia residents who were the victims of fraud. The program ended in December of last year. Willis says she's not sure how they'll make it to next month, but she's resorted to donating plasma.
It's very overwhelming when you ain't got no money to do what you got to do to take care of your kids.
That's terrible. Plasma. I know where I'm from, in a secret location. They have like food banks and places in your local state service center, and we would, we would help them in any way we can. Also, it's investigated by fraud, and if it's found out that you didn't have anything to do with it, they will replace your benefits, or at least half of them. So this is terrible. This is really terrible. Mimi says, I bet it was those skimmers. When I see, Petty Patty says that store looks suspicious. Good morning, Queen Black. She says, we are footing the bill for those thieves. Now, I know a couple of you are saying that it has to be an inside job. Actually, I mean, you would think that, but the way that these people operate and the type of sophistication that in a lot of these different states where it's happening, no. And I forget how they said it was being done, but not necessarily the store or it being an inside job. But what I will say, and I'll say it again, that place just looks like somewhere where suspicious activity goes on. Tex Toy was saying, when you're at those convenience stores, pay cash. And I agree. Pen Pal 50 said, my cousin hasn't spent any of hers yet.
So started an online fundraiser with hopes it might help. Now, we've reached out to officials with the Department of Human Services to find out what efforts, if any, are being made to help individuals who've fallen victim to EBT fraud. We're still waiting to hear back. You can find out more information about that fundraiser by heading over to this story inside the Fox 5 Atlanta News app. In Chamblee, Joy Dukes, Fox 5.
And that, Native taught me, Chamblee Police Department have more police officers than residents. So, I don't know. Let's see. I think I've got one more. Yeah, got one more story to talk about. Then I will be done and we'll roll over into the next live that I'll be doing. But I don't know if any of you've heard, but, a couple weeks ago, there were these twins found unalived in some mountain in Georgia that I can never remember the name of. They were found unalived, and they are saying that it is a murder suicide is what they are saying. And they said that they were waiting for more toxicology reports, but this is what they are saying. Now, some funny things have happened, one of which is an arrest has been made in this case. I want to familiarize some of you who may not know that not only were they found on top of this mountain, these young men were on their way to Boston to visit some friends. So they were going to the airport, ticket in pocket and everything. Nobody knows how they ended up on that mountain. Now, some people have said no, it wasn't Stone Mountain. It's a mountain I can't remember. It's somewhere, I don't know. Somebody might know in the chat, maybe, but it's not Stone Mountain. Now, one of the theories is that I guess the route that they were taking to go to the airport is through a sundown. What the hell? It was through a sundown town, and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just something broke somewhere, and I don't know where. And neither do the dogs because they're looking too. But anyway, it was some talk that maybe their route was through a sundown town, and that this is what may have possibly happened to to them. Mimi said it's a mountain. The mountains in North Georgia are near. Yes, near North Carolina. Nowhere near the airport. Yes, this is a mountain. Yes, this is like nobody. They should not have even been in that direction. Good morning, Sassy Experience. How are you doing? No, I never sleep. Good morning, Wendy Shy. Yes, we just went to bed. Yeah, text toy. It's a weird. Okay, Pen Pal 50 said Bell Mountain. Bell Mountain. Okay, thank you. So Bell Mountain is where they were found, on top of this mountain. And another thing that people were saying, why would they have a pow pow on them, to do this murder suicide if they were on their way to the airport? Like, none of it makes sense. Well, there has been an arrest, but this arrest is I don't know. There's still some strange things going on here.
A volunteer firefighter arrested, accused of taking a picture of the crime scene.
Hold. I didn't know he was a volunteer. Why is a volunteer firefighter anywhere near a crime scene? Like, I thought volunteer firefighters that I know volunteer to put out fires. Why was he near okay, let's listen to the people tell me.
Showing the bodies of twin brothers who'd been shot to death at the top of a mountain, and then sharing those pictures.
That's right. So the hiker found 19-year-old Kaidir and Nazir Lewis at Bell Mountain in Towns County on March 8th. This is 90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville. The GBI initially labeled the shooting as a murder-suicide. However, the family believes something more sinister happened to the twins.
11 Alive's Cody Alcorn first reported the family's concerns on Friday. He spoke with them again tonight following the arrest of this firefighter. Cody's live press tonight in the newsroom. And Cody, the family is reacting to what's really disturbing development.
That's right.
Mimi says, I've been through there in the daytime, and it is not where we stop. Text Toy said on the town, the town was Howasee. That's the name. I was thinking Howasee. Yeah. Pen Pal 50 said they lived in Lawrenceville. What did they say? Like 90 miles away from home. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Right, Jennifer and Ron. Obviously, they are disgusted by all of this. Now, we don't know just how many people shared this horrific picture of the twins' dead bodies. But tonight I confirmed with the Towns County schools, the picture had been shared among students.
Oh my goodness. It's scary. I'm like literally scared to actually go on social media. I'm scared to pick up my phone. I'm like, because if I see that picture, I already know that I might have a heart attack.
Imagine if their mothers see that, like, that would really destroy her. She's already going through a lot.
Now, by share, I wonder what they meant share. Because let me read Sassy Experience's comment. She says, legacy in smaller towns, volunteer firefighters have as much power as a sheriff. That is ridiculous. Kimmy, who said, isn't it amazing how some idiots will post anything? This is what I was going to say. Who did he share it with? Did he share this amongst his friends? I mean, where was this shared? Because Legacy Moon looked for it. Not because I wanted to see it, because I wanted to know, could I find it? I went everywhere. I could not find it. So I was wondering who and where he shared this.
This is how the family of Kaidir and Nazir Lewis want to remember the twins. However, now worried knowing crime scene photos showing the 19-year-old's bodies with a gunshot wound have been shared outside of law enforcement.
It's very disrespectful to this family. I feel like our privacy was invaded.
The volunteer firefighter accused of taking the picture charged and arrested. As for how the twins ended up on Bell Mountain on March 8th, their aunt and uncle can't make sense of it. The twins missed their flight to Boston on Friday morning, March 7th.
Then next thing you know, we hear the news about them found in the mountains. And we're still confused. I'm like, what? the twins, mountains. This doesn't make sense.
We didn't believe that that was even them.
And then
Yeah.
Bell Mountains, I'm like, no one even, we never even heard of before. And I know.
Yeah, they were saying that the twins had never heard of Bell Mountain before. Butterfly 23 said, I have seen the picture. Have you? You said it popped up in a true crime group. I meant, really? Oh, wow. Now I know I'm in some groups, and I went to those too, because, I'm in a lot of groups where, they're missing people groups. And, sometimes, the picture of the unalived people are there. And, but I expect to see them because I know that's what this group is. So I do expect to see them. But I mean, can you just imagine? Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame says, I'm sure they have done all they can to get those pictures taken down offline. Tex Toy said, I'm surprised they arrested him. Hopefully they'll tell us the charge.
Oh, the twins never been there before. They never heard of before. I'm like, that was super strange. Yes. Like, that doesn't make sense.
The GBI initially calling the case a possible murder-suicide. The family adamant that can't be the case.
Doesn't make any sense. This absolutely just like out of character. Yes.
Their bodies found 90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville.
They don't even like driving the distance.
They don't. Because they don't like to pay for gas.
Described as extremely protective of one another.
Every time you see them, they're like together all the time. All the time.
And there's probably nothing in your head you could imagine that got me.
That's why they don't think this was a murder-suicide, because, they were very protective of each other and one would not hurt the other. And in order for that to be the case, one of them would have had to hurt the other. And why would they just like be on their way to Boston Airport and, get a gun and or just go to some mountains? Like, if that's what they wanted to do, why would they go on top of a mountain? It makes no sense.
Between them that would lead to a murder-suicide.
No.
If they had a problem that severe, we would know. The family
Definitely.
would know.
The Towns County volunteer firefighter accused of taking the pictures, Scott Curlin, was charged with misdemeanor obstruction. Tonight, the attorney for Towns County told me there are no cameras at Bell Mountain. He said the area is not staffed. Now, the gate to Bell Mountain opens at 8 a.m. and closes at sundown. The twins' family says the twins' car was found inside the gates in the parking lot. Their phones, wallet, and plane tickets for that Boston trip were inside the car.
All right, Cody, a lot of folks very.
I don't know. This is one of those stories that I can't let go, because I'm not buying it. I'm not buying what they're trying to sell me. So I can't wait to see what the reports say. This further whatever I said, I don't even remember. But oh crap, I can't remember what I just said it was. That report that they're waiting on, that they further. And if they're so sure that's what it was, why'd they send off for extra report? Now, I will tell you, I tried, because the FOIA is a very powerful thing. And I tried to see if I can get the report that's been completed. And they said, nah. But I tried. But they're doing more, I guess, forensic testing, I guess, to make sure that it was actually what they're saying it is, which they should have held off on that. If they had to do more testing forensically like that, then they should have waited before they said that that's what it is. But I am really looking hard at this firefight. Maybe I'll run him. That's what I'll do. Chanel Heslop said maybe it was a murder and a suicide, but I don't think it was planned. Maybe. I don't know. I just, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Jet Black Straight, good morning. Kimmy Who said, how many times have we seen stories like this? The family needs to keep on top of the police department. Yes, I even saw someone do something on TikTok where they said the whole community should stay on top of the police department. Like, call them. They even gave the number. I wish you know what, I'm gonna find it and write that and get it written down and put it on my wall when I do find it, because yeah, that is a good idea. Because how many times have our young Black men been found unalived, and they want to say, oh, they're hanging from a tree. There is this one case where they tried to say that this young man, two cases actually, where one in particular where this young man was found hanging from a tree in front of his either home or the development of his home. Like really, if someone wanted to unalive themselves, they would not put their family through that. So there have been too many cases where it's been explained like this, and we know that ain't what happened. So anyway, that's all I have for you. Let me see. Butterfly 23 says both young men were on their backs. One had a sword lying. What? That. Like, I could see one, okay, pow pow, one fall down on his back, but so then the other. I'm gonna tell you something else. I haven't heard anybody said they found the weapon. That doesn't, just because I didn't hear it doesn't mean that it's not so. But where's the weapon at now? And why would there be a sword? That's just weird. What kind of? Mimi said, I want to know if they looked at text and computers. A girl can be involved. Someone pretending to be one. Right. Wow, a sword. I can't even make sense of that. Now, see, when you tell me something like that, I'm thinking like a ritualistic thing. Because I those two young girls that were unalived by I forget the town, but I think the guy just went to court and was convicted, which honestly, that's a whole different story. I don't think he did it. But a lot of the things that they found near and around the girls' bodies were ritualistic in nature. I mean, you tell me a sword, that just like if this was a murder suicide, why a sword just laying across? That's just weird. Weird. Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walker Shame says that's weird and something is definitely not clean in this case. Good morning, Miss Buckeye. So y'all, I just wanted to bring, like I said, I'm going to be getting into different things, and I want to present different things other than the Nesto content. So this is one of the things I will be doing in the mornings that I come on. And you guys will know in advance, more than likely, when I will be on in the morning. But as for now, we are going to end this live because I have one already set up for 8 o'clock and it's 8:05. So I already have a live set up that I am going to go over to now. And I hope that you all could join me and continue to listen to me over there while you commute, while you're working, while you're getting ready for work, cooking breakfast, whatever. But that's where I will be. But y'all, give me 5 minutes though, because I gotta look around here and see what that crashing sound was. But anyway, I hope I will see y'all there. If not, have a good morning and a good commute to work and enjoy your day. Let me put some music on just for a second. And we're going to get out of here.